Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here, Golden Opportunities Coaching and the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel. And this is the review for Raw on Monday, the 25th of 2021. Honestly, the show continues to be trash. Usually, by the Royal Rumble time, I'm at least moderately excited about what's going on in WWE. I really do think that the product has passed me by, and I stay because it's 32 years as a fan of the sport and of WWE because that's where I started. Leaving just feels wrong, but honestly, there is absolutely no redeeming quality that would make a new person become a fan of this product in any level, at any level, in my mind. So, Drew McIntyre enters. He says he feels better. He says he feels good to be back on Raw. Thanks to all the fans for his issues or supporting him through COVID. He says he's had some fatigue and loss of taste. He's back to training on day 4. That seems really ridiculous to me. I mean, maybe it's true, and if it is, he's a beast. But I feel like that's an over exaggeration to make himself seem like a super athlete. He dedicates the match affected to or to those affected with COVID, and he said they'll get through this, which means if he doesn't win, that's a political statement I wouldn't want to make come Sunday. McIntyre puts Goldberg over, talks about the streak. He said he has a streak of winning every championship he challenges for, and that once he entered the WWE, McIntyre plans on ending the streak by retaining the title on Sunday, which, for the record, I hope he does. Miz and Morrison interrupt. Miz says Sunday's match would be like Kong versus Godzilla. Both guys could end up injured. He then points to the use of the money in the bank briefcase at some point. Goldberg enters. He says, "You, me, Sunday. You're next." They stare at each other. Goldberg and McIntyre attack Miz and Morrison, and they stare each other down. This is as good as it's going to be. I really hope that Goldberg does a flat out put over here, in the sense that if he doesn't, you're basically saying what people already know but don't want to admit. The last 25 years, well, 23 years of wrestling has been utter trash, and we need to go back to 1998 in order for things to be good again. They plug Asuka and Alexa Bliss for the title. Phillips says Bliss revealed the depths of her darkness last week. No, that's been revealed before. You just decided to take notice. Charlotte Flair told Caruso she performs well under pressure. She calls herself Queen of Spades, or acknowledges Shayna Baszler as such. She plans on defending the tag titles with Asuka and entering the Rumble. Caruso asked about Lacey Evans and her father. Charlotte says that her father's in the darkest place of his life, and Evans couldn't carry the weight of being a Flair. I found this offensive. Ric Flair has been through 5 divorces, the death of his son, various other low points in his career, many battles with the IRS, battles with depression and other emotional illness possibilities, and this storyline written by people who honestly don't care about putting forth compelling entertainment as the world goes through a pandemic. This is the worst that he's ever been through. No, sorry. It's insulting my intelligence. It's insulting to anyone who's ever been through anything in real life. Come on, get a clue. I realize they think they know how to script things. I realize they think they're cutting edge entertainment. But this shows how completely tone deaf the entire the entire staff is when it comes to writing, and the fact that Vince is signing off on tone deaf stuff. No heat on Charlotte Flair. She did what she was paid to do and delivered garbage, but she still delivered garbage. Anyway, tag team champions tag team champion Charlotte defeats Shayna Baszler with Nia Jax in just under a minute. Nia Jax leg drops Flair as she applies the figure four. Jackson Baszler attacks Charlotte. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke come down. Why does it take 3-on-2 for baby faces here to make a save? Evans runs down, attacks Charlotte, and they go to a break. So really, they actually think that people want to see Lacey Evans do anything, let alone waste her on somebody as talented as Charlotte Flair. Anyway, 6-woman tag match. Up next, Charlotte, Mandy, and Dana defeat Lacey, Shayna, and Nia Jax in just under 4 3/4 minutes. Mess of a match. You can definitely tell who's ready to be on TV and who isn't. And of the 6 women in this, honestly, 2 of them are ready for a major spotlight, and that's Charlotte and Shayna. Other than that, everybody needs to go back to developmental at one level or another. Anyway, match itself starts with Evans and Jax. Baszler shoves someone into the side of the ring, and Baszler didn't get back in the ring in time. Referee counts her out. Everyone stands around looking confused. There's a screw up here somewhere. I realized I got distracted and kind of didn't follow this, but at the same time, it was virtually impossible to follow. Heels complained to Adam Pearce on the ramp during the commercial break. They wanted to restart the match. Match is restarted. After the commercial break, Rose seems to have the match won using a V-trigger, which, hey, it's Kenny Omega on a real program, which is worse. Anyway, Baszler breaks up the cover. Everyone traves moves until Charlotte goes after Evans. Brooks hits a neckbreaker on Jax. Jax sends her off the top rope, and then there's a choke slam, and Brooke lands hard on the mat. Jax hits a leg drop for a pinfall win. This was abysmal the whole way through. 2 3/4 minutes. Up next, Xavier Woods defeats Slapjack with Retribution. Why are we still doing a storyline no one cared about from the point it started to now? Woods basically is very focused going into the ring. Bell rings, hits a drop kick. Slapjack fights back and hits a bulldog of some jurisdiction. Mustafa Ali sends T-Bar to do something, and so he tries to distract Woods. T-Bar nails Woods with a running boot post-match. T-Bar and Mace also give a double choke slam to Woods. Slapjack gives Ali a chair. He decides to sit down in the chair. He says Woods wants to be king of the ring, but looks like a peasant. Ali decides to show mercy to him, and Kingston wouldn't be able to compete at the Royal Rumble, but be replaced. Has been found Mustafa Ali. In the back, R-Truth tells Riddle that the Hurt Business has a surprise party for him because it's his birthday last week. They commented on both being under the same astrological sign. And then we go into the second hour. An hour of this leads to that mess. Okay, so Bad Bunny, whoever that is supposed to perform at the Royal Rumble. VIP Lounge, Hurt Business. Sheldon Benjamin wears a face covering. He removes it and puts it in his pocket. I guess he's trying to be COVID compliant. Anyway, MVP and Bobby Lashley tried, and they talk about Lashley's success. MVP is given credit by Lashley. Cedric Alexander interrupts. They said they're on a roll, and he's about to give MVP credit. There's a gift for MVP. It's a gold chain with THB, otherwise known as the Hurt Business. Alexander talks about getting the chain made, and they couldn't understand why Truth was there. Truth comes in during the middle of this, and then Truth thinks that THB stands for Truth Happy Birthday. Not quite. Lashley said he didn't get Truth a gift and invited him in the ring to get the gift. This was hokey. Truth is skeptical. A bunch of 24/7 geek-related people running after him, including Carrillo. Hurt Business beats everybody up. Riddle appears in the ring, attacks MVP from behind, hits a knee strike, and they played a clip of Edge's return last year at the Rumble. They randomly announced that Edge has returned to speak tonight. Okay, so you have a former multi-time world champion, tag team champion, Intercontinental champion, U.S. champion, very decorated guy, Hall of Famer, who you wait about an hour and a half into the show to even acknowledge he's going to be there. That's good for ratings. This company does not care. Anyway, in the back, Truth tells Pierce that he wants a chance to enter the Money in the Bank match. Styles enters and wants to give Truth the chance to qualify for the Rumble. Truth says Styles is benevolent while he was a Capricorn. Pierce makes the match. This is goofy. WWE Network is moving to Peacock in March in the U.S. Phillips said every pay-per-view would be included, and they'd have more information later tonight. This is a big deal. I'm not necessarily a fan. I don't like big corporate takeovers like NBC's doing here, but the fact that it's $5 cheaper, okay. Anyway, Sheamus defeats John Morrison with The Miz at just over 9.5 minutes. Morrison works over Sheamus, goes after the leg. Sheamus does make a comeback, wins with a white noise. Miz challenges Sheamus to a handicap match, and he accepted. 2-on-1 handicap match. John Morrison and The Miz defeat Sheamus at 6:50. So basically, they give the whole thing about 17 minutes of complete time-wasting garbage. Sheamus hasn't been relevant since 2010, maybe 2011, and Miz and Morrison are a joke tag team, and yet this is the best way we can fill a television show that's been around for 28 years on a huge cable network. Anyway, they beat up Sheamus for 4 of the almost 7 minutes of this. Morrison gets tossed from the ring, sends Miz out with a clothesline. Sheamus does a rolling senton, lands on Morrison. He goes after both guys, knocking them down with clotheslines to the outside. Sheamus gives Morrison a brogue kick. Miz catches him with a skull-crushing finale and gets a pinfall win. Ric Flair teaches Lacey Evans some counters. Evans looks extremely happy with this. Flair said he's going to do what he wants and continue to be himself. He says he basically wants to mentor somebody. Charlotte basically wonders if this means that Flair's going to continue to spend money on everybody but his family. And she said he's going from a legend to an old man. She then says she's not the bad guy. I assume this leads to a huge swerve. Maybe at WrestleMania, Flair rejoins his daughter, but they're going to tease it out because, well, they don't know how to write compelling storylines. So we do the things we've always seen for the last 40 years. Anyway, Charlotte backs away. Evans reappears and punches her in the face. Rick tries to check on her, but Evans pulls him away. And then Phillips congratulates former 24/7 champion Rob Gronkowski on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to the Super Bowl. I didn't even know. Honestly, I don't follow football, but I didn't even know the Super Bowl was still happening with the pandemic. I mean, I guess I should have known, but still. Anyway, AJ Styles with almost defeats R-Truth in a non-title 24/7 match in 2.5 minutes. Truth hits a 5-knuckle shuffle. Styles counters it with an attitude adjustment into a calf crusher for a submission win. Is what it is. We go into the third hour. Yes, 2/3 of the way through this, and there's nothing but garbage. They replay some Randy Orton promo from last week. Alexa Bliss is on the playground. She speaks like a child about how much fun she's had. And she learned her trick, transforming from him, and she couldn't wait to see him again. She found she will find a shiny new toy tonight, the title belt. She sings nursery rhymes ending with "Let Me In." Riddle is going to the ring for his match. He's doing a gauntlet here. Riddle versus the Hurt Business. Riddle defeats Sheldon Benjamin in 4 3/4 minutes. Benjamin counters a roll-up into a roll-up of his own. Alexander distracts the referee during this time. Alexander says he's trying to help, so MVP told him to do nothing. Riddle rolls up Benjamin for the pinfall victory. Riddle defeats MVP in 7 seconds. Hurt Business argue with each other. Riddle puts MVP in a heel hook and immediately taps him out. Riddle defeats Cedric Alexander. Probably the best match of the night, to be completely honest. Riddle won with a roll-up. MVP is annoyed with Alexander for not, doing cinched-up covers. Post-match, Lashley attacks Riddle from behind and put him down with a hurt lock. Riddle's caught off guard by all of this. Phillips talks about the Peacock deal. He doesn't really provide a bunch of information, but says go to the website for more information. So you bait and switch even when giving information about how fans can continue to watch your product. Awesome. Anyway, Edge cuts a promo. This is the best segment of the entire show. Edge, he's sitting in a ring in a dark room. He said 2020 taught him to live for today. He says you just pack your stuff up and keep walking. 10 years ago, WrestleMania 27, he went to bed as world champion, but woke up forfeited the title. His career was over, and so was his dream. He recalls telling his mom that he wanted to be a wrestler. She told him to go at it, and he says she told him to put a fire in his gut, and it took 9 years for him to get his dream back. Backlash, Randy Orton tore his triceps, which is another reminder that everything can be taken away, just like that, and you can't live in the space of fear. You have to fight. He said his mother would tell him to go do it. He announced he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. The window closes on him more and more each year and each day. He needs to take back what's his. He's going to fight for his dream to come true. A world without dreamers and fighters would be a much less magical place. He quotes Henry Ford, if you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. And then he closes with, well, I think I can. See you at the Rumble. This was fine. I mean, the promo itself was great. I don't necessarily know that. I mean, you're not going to put him in the main event of WrestleMania for the title. So, at some level, there's a letdown to it. But if you're filling time, this is how you do it, because at least you made people care. Asuka and Alexa Bliss are your main event. Yes, I can't believe I just said that. 2 minutes into the match, Bliss kicks Asuka out of the ring. Bliss is then on a rocking horse. Music plays, lights turn purple. We go to commercial, we come back. Toy horse is gone. Lights are back to normal. Bliss hits a drop kick for a near fall. Asuka fights out of a chin lock and uses a running hip attack, German suplex, and Shining Wizard for a near fall. Asuka tries to go for something. Bliss's old music plays for a moment, and Bliss suddenly is in her old original gear from forever ago. She's very confused. She dodges a charge and puts her head down in the corner. Lights go back to being purple. An evil Bliss appears, black shirt and lipstick. She no-souls the strikes of Asuka and powers out of the Asuka lock. Bliss puts her in the mandible claw and has it won, as one would think. Randy Orton comes out and he has burns on his face or really bad makeup. And Orton gives Bliss an RKO and they go off the air. So we close the show with man-on-woman violence. That's the way we plug to go to the Royal Rumble, and they give them 12 and a half minutes to do all of this mess. This is garbage. WWE is trash, and hopefully, eventually, one of the major companies or one of the major partners they have in the next 5 to 10 years will see this, and the company will be put out of its misery. In any event, we'll be back with more, including AEW Dark Review, Impact Review, and some international show they did, Superstar Showdown or some mess. Also Dynamite and NXT tonight as well. And we return to our old school series too. Anyway, till next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment.